Hello Exiles, and today this is going to be video 1 of 5 that I'm going to be providing to you in regards to all of the content that is coming for Path of Exile 2. So today's video we are going to be focusing on Breach, but I'll be doing one on Delirium, Expedition, Ritual and Ultimatum, all of which are coming into Path of Exile 2 with some slight changes. Now I will detail the changes as we go through it, but today's video is going to be focusing on Breach. Now what I would like to say is if you are enjoying my videos and my content and they are being helpful for you, then throw us a subscribe and it will greatly help the channel grow, which is what I intend to do over the next couple of years. Now with that being said, let's jump into Breach. Now the first question that you're probably asking is, what is a breach? Now breaches are randomly spawned mechanics that will appear within maps or areas that you are going to be farming. What you will do is you will walk up to them into their vicinity and it will then activate the breach. Active breaches will then expand their circle outwards, which will then spawn a mix of breach monsters within the circle. Now the faster the monsters are killed, the faster the circle expands, and after a while the expansion of the circle will then slow down until it eventually retracts and closes. Now breaches stay open for a minimum of 30 seconds and it can be increased to a maximum of 60 seconds based on how quickly you are able to kill the monsters. Now I'm going to show you an example here just because you can then see how it is in gameplay. Now the artwork, as well, as you can see here, this is from PoE 1, but from PoE 2 this has now changed and this is how it now looks in PoE 2, just so you can have a bit of an update in the graphical MTX of it. So what you do is you literally walk over it and this purple ring will obviously expand. You then have to run around. Now there are such things in the breach called clasped hands, so you can see this one right here. This is a clasped hand. Now these are still going to be in Path of Exile 2, and what you would do is you would walk over them and they would automatically drop loot connected to them. Now don't worry about me, I'm just doing this just to show you, and as you can see here, it closed. So if you do not kill the monsters fast enough, then the instance of the breach will then close. Now the breach hand then disappears and it is gone forever, basically. Everything that is obviously then dropped, what I would usually advise you to do is not to pick up the loot until you have finished the breach. Because it is a timed experience, I would kindly ask that if you are running a breach, don't run around trying to pick up all your loot while the breach is active, because you are wasting precious seconds that you could be using killing monsters. Bear in mind, the more monsters you kill, the longer it stays open. There is also something that they can drop, which is called a breach ring. Now breach rings are staying in the game. Please disregard how this looks. In PoE 1 they used to double their properties, however in PoE 2 that has now changed. They now have a maximum quality of 50%, and we will go on to that later on. Basically though, that is the ins and outs and the basics of breach. So let's go and find another breach, and here we have another one here. So I'm going to activate this, and again we're going to try and see if we can kill as much as we can within the 60 seconds or within the 30 seconds, and we'll try and see if we can just get it there. Look at all them hands that I just opened, and it's a hand there, another one there. Just don't pick up any of the loot. Another hand, just keep killing, open the hands, keep going. And then look, see it slowed down, and then it slowly starts to collapse and close. At this point, then you can go around and loot. So obviously all the splinters that drop are basically, I'm going to run through with you in a minute, but splinters are the main drops of breach, and they will then create a breachstone. So these are the splinters. Obviously the MTX and the art for the splinters has slightly changed, but what happens is once you have 100 of these splinters, and I will quickly show you this now, once you have 100 it then does turn into a breachstone. Now within Path of Exile 1 there was 5 different types of breachstones, however in Path of Exile 2 there is only going to be one type of breachstone, which is called the Ula breachstone, I believe. Now the next question you're probably asking is, what is a breachstone? Now a breachstone is basically one massive map So if you can see here, the map has already been fully revealed all the way up. And the main aim of this Breachstone is that it is another timed experience, but it is based on the monsters that you kill. All you need to do is keep killing monsters and the breach will forever keep expanding. So if we look at the top here, I have 18 seconds, but if you notice, it will forever stay. Now we're at 19 seconds. 18 seconds, back to 18 seconds, now at 21 seconds. So as you kill monsters, you gain time. So it's a case of being as fast as you can and killing as many monsters as you can to keep up with the breach. This build, as you can see, is just completely decimating everything, but this build is in standard. I would expect that anyway. We're now at 30 seconds. Now, once you get to the end, then you will then encounter a breach boss, which is called a Breach Lord. Now, that is obviously going to be in Path of Exile 2 Zhest. So the breach boss that you're going to see in this is not going to be the same, but it's just to give you an example of how it works. As you can see here, I'm just navigating through the map, killing everything as I go, trying to keep up with the expanding breach ring there. As you can see it on the floor, the pink ring, see it's expanding. As it expands, monsters will appear. You just go as quickly as you can. We're now at 40 seconds, so as you can see, it does quickly escalate. At that point, then you can then enter into the breach domain, i.e. the boss arena, and obviously fight Zhest. Obviously in this one, it is Chayula. Now, obviously Chayula is a little bit different to obviously what we're going to be fighting. We got a Skin of the Lords. It is going to be a little bit different to what we're going to be fighting in Path of Exile 2, but as you can see, it's basically the same thing. It's the same type of boss. Now, to touch very briefly on the breach rings, they stated that they have now been changed and that they now have a maximum quality of 50%. So what that means is you'll be able to use catalysts on your breach rings to be able to enhance all of your stats. And the only place that you are able to get catalysts is within Breach itself. So farm Breach, drop catalysts, and then use those catalysts on your ring to make the quality better. Quality enhances any item on there based on what type of quality you want to increase. Whether it be your life, your mana, your damage stats, your resistance stats, your attack speed, your cast speed, whatever it may be, there should be a catalyst for each one of those variants so you can influence it and make it even better and make it a bigger number, i.e. big number equals good. Finally, there was something within Path of Exile 1 that was called blessings. Blessings would be able to be used on specific uniques that would then upgrade them to an upgraded form of another unique. Basically, I don't know whether they are going to be introduced into Path of Exile 2. They have not been shown in any reveals or within the live stream, so I'm going to just literally just mention it there, and I'm not going to go any further into that, just because if they are going to be including them at a later date, then I will do another video just on blessings. But just to know that's how they interact and how they work. And that is basically it, guys. It's very basic for Breach. There's literally Breach Hands, Breach Splinters, Breachstone. That's it. There's nothing much else to know. And clasped hands that you open. And that's basically it. It's nice and easy. I hope that that's helped. And I will be doing another video tomorrow on Delirium. So check back tomorrow for the Delirium video. So if you want to know everything that's related to Delirium and how it works, then we will see you tomorrow. And until then, guys, thank you for watching and stay sane.